Hey Geeks, it's Jen P here with the Sister Geeks, and we're bringing you a special edition tonight where we've hit the wine pretty hard before we're getting started. And we'd like to tell you about an awesome little book called A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness that Tiffany and I have read and loved, and also disliked a little bit, like parts. But we're going to discuss all that with you in the course of this short little vlog. So sit back and enjoy. Ready?
Right.
Okay, Discovery of Witches, right here. The reason we are hitting the wine so hard tonight is that our male lead is quite the wine enthusiast.
He is. And we decided to take a page out of his book. So, cheers.
Here's to you, Matthew de Claremont. Anyway, so Matthew is a 1,500-year-old vampire. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's old.
Okay, but he's not the main character. Let's go back to the beginning. What's her? Diana Bishop is the main character, and she is a witch who is not really into using her powers. Like, she's got a whole thing against.
Yeah, no, she's in the closet, and she like has suppressed her powers.
Right, but there's reason for that we find out later. No spoilers, but you will get a lot of answers.
But it's, you have this particular world is one where there are witches. They do use their powers. There is a community. Humans don't know about the witches, but witches have their own community. And she comes from a very prominent witching family.
Witches that are very powerful, very strong.
Think Charmed. Yeah.
I definitely did get a Charmed.
I love that show.
Oh,
better than this book.
Yeah. So okay. All right, let's go back to the book. So Diana, we find, is a very intelligent woman who goes to Oxford. Is it
Okay,
Oxford?
let's talk for a second about this particular character's intelligence. Like,
It hurts.
it was tedious intelligence. Like, she's a research.
Like she's a historian, and she just like
She's an
researches.
academic.
Yeah.
So her job is to do like boring ass, like deep library research. You know what I'm talking about? Like the stacks where normal people go to make out. Like, is where she actually works. So,
and she enjoys like the smell
She
of like
loves
old
it.
books and like sitting around in a sweater drinking tea and like.
and here's the thing, that's fine. That really is fine from a character perspective. My problem with all that was that a lot of the text is spent on like going through her research and talking about it as if the reader enjoys all of that as well.
Right.
And
So
it was a lot.
for like the normal reader, like me and T here, who are just chilling, drinking wine on a Wednesday night, y'all. It like legitimately hurts at points. I will tell you a specific page where I had a problem. Page 72. It's chapter 7. It took me 3 freaking weeks to finish chapter 7. I'm not joking. Like every night I'd be like, and she was really into history. Oh, wait. Hold on. History's better than science. I seriously, 3 weeks. Every night, the same damn thing. Matthew, history's so cool. No, science is way cooler. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Honestly. And I swear to God, if they took one more yoga class, I was gonna bust somebody upside the head. But I will say, once we got past all the yoga and the sciencey history bullshit, it got really good. Like Septours, right? Like Septours is when it picked up. Like when she met his mom.
Yeah, okay, yes.
And then she found out that he was like, and I don't really want to spoil you guys, but I will a little bit, that like there's like night paraphernalia in his bedroom and stuff like that. Like that got really cool.
Yeah, I will agree that at the point where she is pulled out of her element, out of her world, out of her regular everyday life is when it started to pick up.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna be honest. I did not read pages like Jen did, bless her heart. I listened to an audiobook on my commute. So I was able to push through much easier than you were. Just because I didn't have to read it. I was doing something else. I was otherwise occupied. It was on. And so when it was really kind of lulling,
it just kept playing.
it just kept going. And I just rolled with it. But yeah, at the point where she steps out of her everyday life and her adventure kind of begins, everything sort of picks up.
Yeah.
So, you know, and don't get us
If you
wrong.
can just like power through those first 7 chapters, I promise you.
The character herself, though, is a great character.
She
I actually
is.
really liked her. I found her interesting. I just thought her work was boring as crap.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's just there's a lot of emphasis on that very boring work. But she's a great character. I like
It's
her.
actually important to the story, and it's really important to the second book because I already read the second book because even though it was brutal, man, I am committed. Okay, I never stop something I start. So
I don't have a problem with that. I'm okay being a quitter.
I actually really liked the second book. I'll talk about that another time, but I will say that this one leads well into it. It is a cliffhanger ending, just to warn any of you who are thinking of picking it up. If you want to know what happens, you're going to have to read all 3, because even at the second one, I'm like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah. The
But
end of this
yeah.
book, you know, you've gone through the first stage of things, and you know, it is an ending point, but yeah, it is not the end.
No,
like you
for
you do not know what has happened when you get to the end of all of these. How many is it here?
A lot.
It's like 579.
And they're serious
Pages.
pages. This isn't like YA, y'all. Like, there's not big letters. Like, this is like I'm squinting at like midnight. Like, I have read this paragraph 3 times now, and I don't know what it says still.
It sounds like we don't like the book, but I think we both did. actually.
No, we really did. It just, I will say it was a little highbrow for our tastes.
So the wine has helped.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? That was Matthew's saving grace. I'm not gonna lie.
You like that?
I did. I was like, you know what? This guy knows how to drink. I can relate. Plus, he's tall, dark, and handsome. I mean, he's a little dangerous.
That doesn't hurt.
And super intelligent. I mean,
Yeah. And he doesn't sparkle,
thank God.
which is always a plus.
I mean-
I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm not gonna lie. I love glitter, but not on a man. I mean, maybe that's sexist of me.
No, I'm with you.
But like
I'm
a man
with
that
you.
I'm going to hook up with
Like,
does not need
he doesn't
to
need
be
the sparkle,
glittering
no.
in my face. Like,
No.
that's- I don't want to look at a disco ball when I'm like,
I'm with you. I'm with you. That makes sense to me. So we liked the book.
In summary,
We did like the book. I promise.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like it, but we did like it.
it was actually like a pretty fun read once you got past all the...
Once you get into it. But I'm going to be honest. I don't particularly anticipate reading the other books. If I go to the library, the audiobook happens to be there, and I don't have something else that I'm looking forward to listening to on my commute, I may pick it up. But I'm not necessarily going to go hunting it down. I wouldn't sign up for Audible just to read it or listen to it.
How was the reader, by the way, since you listened to the audio? I didn't do that.
Not bad. It was one of those where I didn't think about the reader, which is the best kind. If I don't think about the reader, that's terrific because they did a good job and
Yeah.
it's just about the text. Either that or they do such a fantastic job that I become an Uber fan.
Right,
of
you
a
look for
narrator.
that reader.
Yeah.
So, okay, but this
like
was
Jim Dale, but Jim Dale's Jim Dale. And
who's Jim Dale?
the guy who narrates each and every single Harry Potter audio.
God, and you know what? Now Audible has Harry Potter, and they didn't when I had Audible. So that's
Sucker.
That's some messed up mess right there.
Side note, since we're on that topic, if you haven't listened to Harry Potter, you really should. It is phenomenal.
I actually think that's super relevant to what we're talking about, because that would be pretty much the only thing I would compare this to as far as like quality of writing would be Harry Potter. And she doesn't compete with J.K. Rowling, but the style is very similar, and there's a lot of magic and mystery that I felt like was comparable with the world of Harry Potter. I mean, if you don't get too bogged down with the history and science.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, I did want to point out, there is romance here, but it's a soft romance. It gets romantic romance. If you're like some people and you look for things to get a little bit more wild, this is not necessarily gonna give you what it is you're looking for.
Book 2 does.
Well, there you go. You just got to get through these 600 pages, and then there's Whoopi.
But
good for you.
Honestly, it's not even then. I mean, it happens a couple times in book 2 because, you know, at that point the relationship has progressed. I won't say how, but it's not graphic. It's not like something you'd read in 50 Shades, obviously. And it's tasteful. It's not overdone. It's just kind of like it happens, and it's kind of romantic. It's like a sweet, slow build. Although Matthew is a very complicated individual, I will say. So anyway,
I don't know what that means, but you can read and find out.
He's not Christian Grey, but he's not Edward, and he's not. I don't know who else. Who else would I even compare to? I mean, he's a vampire.
I just don't even know.
He's not Lost Boys. He's not gonna eat.
Is he Angel?
The pieces. Yeah. You know what? He's kind of an angel character. All right. Well, in conclusion, I feel like you should read it. At least give it a go. See what you think. It might be your level. It might be something that bores you to tears, and you cannot get past that chapter 7.
Right.
I'm telling you, chapter 7 is brutal, y'all. Anyway,
I would like to shout out to Katie. Thank you, Katie, for recommending it for me. Katie is a friend of mine at my local Second and Charles, because used bookstores
are always there.
Are what's up. And she's the one who told me that I should pick it up and read it, so I did. And it was, it was a good enough time, and so I appreciate that recommendation. Want to shout out to her for that. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, pick it up, you guys. Check it out. And here's the thing. There's some people who would have you think that because you start a tedious ass 600-page book, you have to finish it.
You do.
But you really don't. If you pick it up and you get 60 pages in and you just want to shoot every character and yourself in the face, life's too short. Put it back down. No judgment. It's fine. So give it a shot. You don't like it? Put it back down.
How many times did I call you and be like, why the F are we reading this crap? I can't. And then I'm the one who's reading book 2. I just finished book 2. Like, I made it through. Okay, so I am an example of the opposite of what she just said. Power through that crap. You can do it. I believe in you. Anyway, moving on.
And there you go.
I hope y'all have a great night. Thanks for tuning in to us Sister Geeks here with our crazy winos and, well, whatever you want to call us. And we hope you come back next time.
Yeah, there'll probably be less wine next time, but
no.
Maybe not. No, there'll be just as much.
Our producer is saying there will be more wine next time. In fact, I'm assuming she will bring.
I think she'll bring another bottle for us. She's so kind to provide this tonight.
My husband is shaking his head saying, please God, no. Across the room, y'all. So anyway, have a nice night. We love you.
We love you. Please like, subscribe. Come back and see us again.
Please.
Comment something. Whatever.
Yeah, just show the love.
Yeah. We love you guys.
You love us too, right? I mean, we're so cute. We're so
adorable.
All right, later, geeks.
Peace out, friends.